Every afternoon at 4 o'clock, Daniel would sit on the same green bench by Willow Lake. He always brought three things: a notebook, a pencil, and a silence so deep it felt like it could swallow sound. At 22 and unemployed, he was utterly convinced he had nothing to offer the world. This feeling had set in after he failed his final engineering exams. He watched his friends land jobs, move into their own places, and build their lives, while he just retreated further and further inward. "I'm not cut out for this world," he once told his worried mother. "I overthink everything. I freeze up when people look at me. I'm just stuck." She didn't argue. Instead, she handed him a bus pass and said, "Go sit by the lake. Just breathe. Maybe your mind will find its way." And so he did. Day after day, he went to that bench. He watched ducks gliding across the water, children chasing after bubbles, and couples holding hands without needing to say a word. He wrote down his observations in his notebook. Not grand, life-changing ideas, but small, simple truths. The old man feeds the pigeons like their family. The wind sounds like someone sighing. The sunset turns the lake into liquid gold. His notebook filled with these quiet moments. One rainy Tuesday, a girl with bright red boots, soaking wet, sat down beside him. She was holding a torn sketchbook. "Mind if I share your bench?" she asked. Daniel just shook his head, keeping his eyes down. She flipped open her book and showed him a drawing of the weeping willow tree, its branches dipping into the water. "I'm trying to capture how it feels lonely," she said, "but I can't get it right." Without thinking, Daniel murmured, "Maybe it's not lonely. Maybe it's listening." She looked at him, surprised. "Wow, that's beautiful." Her name was Lena, and she was an art student. She came back the next day, and the day after that. Slowly, Daniel started to open up. First, they talked about art, then about the stars, and eventually, he told her how he used to build model bridges as a kid just to watch them hold weight. "You think like an engineer," she said one day. "Why aren't you building real ones?" He let out a bitter laugh. "Because I failed twice." Lena looked at him gently. "Failing a test doesn't mean you're not an engineer," she said. "It just means you haven't found your path yet." That same week, Lena entered a city design contest with the theme, "Reimagine a public space for connection." She asked Daniel to help. "You see things no one else does," she insisted. He was hesitant, but a small flicker of hope pushed him to agree. Together, they sketched a redesign of the lakeside. He added quiet reading nooks, sensory gardens for the visually impaired, and floating docks for stargazing. He called their project the Listening Shore. They submitted it together. They didn't win the grand prize, but the city planner was so impressed with Daniel's notes on inclusive design that he offered him an internship on the spot. On his first day, Daniel wore his old engineering jacket, zipped up tight like a piece of armor. At lunchtime, he found himself sitting alone, until he spotted an empty bench in the office courtyard. He walked over, sat down, and opened his notebook. Just then, a new voice asked, "Mind if I share your bench?" He looked up, and for the first time in a long time, he smiled. Not at all. Self-confidence doesn't always arrive with a huge celebration. Sometimes it grows quietly on a bench, in a conversation, in that small space between thinking, "I can't," and wondering, "Maybe I could." You don't need to be perfect to start. You just need to show up exactly as you are and trust that your unique perspective, your quiet observation, your hidden idea has incredible value. Thank you for watching. If this story resonated with you, consider subscribing for more content that inspires.